everybody, and welcome to the GTAL second round of the season here from Westhill. We do apologise for the raft of technical difficulties we've had up to now. Today, obviously, MotoBC having a few problems. Chris Wilkinson here, being joined by Oscar Hardwick and Simon Cattell, and we are about 33 minutes into this race now, 32 minutes and 48 seconds as a matter of fact. And the guest team, Adenoids Racing, currently lead the race. Up to now, we are on the 19th racing lap, and up to now in turn 1 of the first lap, Edgardo Leighton, for just driving the championship leaders. They had contact with Core Racing. They're now a lap down already. Today, we've also had E-Team claiming the lead, then dropping back after an incident in the chicane. And quite a lot of incident up to now. You actually missed a hell of a lot. We'll definitely put a video up recapping the race up to now at a later stage. But there is Colin Beck for Adenoids Racing currently leading the race, and we've got a massive train further down. Hopefully we hit that. Yes, we do. There's Modestus Runas for Deadline Racing. He's in a bit of a train behind himself really. There's Empower in front of him, but then there's Raptor Gaming as well. Oh, we've got a spin! Garbalowski and Plutter! Garbalowski and Plutter! Through turn 2 there, a bit of contact with me. Garbalowski seemed to clip the rear quarter. Unfortunately, missed the actual unfolding of the incident, but yep, contact made there, and that's not a good start for either two. Garbalowski also involved in contact earlier on with, I think it was Falkenhayn of Raptor Gaming in the chicane. They ended up, 7 Karat that is, ended up backwards in the middle of the road.
Yeah, Garbalowski has been involved in more than his fair share of incidents today, and that's not the first time that I've seen him spinning through that fast first sector. Other incidents worth mentioning were a relatively large accident between the AMG driver of Cullen and the Zion driver of Pazinski as they collided with each other just after sector 2, going into the slow left-hander, and caused severe damage, and are both now, I think, a lap down on the leader and a lap down on quite a few other drivers as well.
In case anybody's wondering, there's low wind conditions for today. This was decided just after the qualifying session yesterday, so there is low wind for today's race, which is 6 kilometers per hour, which, to be fair, in these guys isn't really much of an issue. It could have been so much worse, but there've not been too many problems related to wind, but yeah, definitely a factor for the teams to consider for today.
Yeah, well, certainly it didn't really matter in these cars. I think it wasn't much of a wind at all. It was definitely only low wind at Kyoto for the first GTL round that was ever streamed at Kyoto Long. I think it was, wasn't it? When everybody fell off at the corner that has now been renamed that corner after the incidents there last year, with an absolutely phenomenal few moments of wrecking right at the red flag. So wind definitely does play a part. The pace seems to be down as well on the testing pace as well. You're currently watching the car of Lublin. Yeah, they are being hounded at the moment by Martin Seppam of E-Team, who's had his fair share of little mistakes today, coming off in the fast chicane in sector 2. He wants to be through as well, and he's been trapped there for quite a while, hasn't he, Oscar?
He's been trapped there for a while, and he was further up earlier on in the race when everyone had cold tyres, but Sepam has really struggled with getting any heat into his tyres, and that's lost him endless amounts of time. And now he's back in 6th after having started in 3rd position.
So yeah, quite surprising for Sepam at the moment. He's really been struggling with cold tyres throughout the race. It's not really a fundamental setup problem, he's just simply not turning enough into the corners and getting on the power early enough and really not putting any heat into those tyres, which I think is starting to slow him down in battle, particularly when he's stuck in the draft of the cars ahead. But well, he's slightly starting to pick up the pace now, and yeah, we should expect to see battle quite soon.
Yeah, one of the moments, and obviously, according to you, Simon, seems like smooth driving isn't the best way to go about it. But then again, you're going at such a pace as well with the downforce of these cars. Is it not so easy to just be very smooth? As Nogiak gets a very big drift there through turn 2. Now Sepam has the run. Will Nogiak hold his inside line? No, he won't. It lets Sepam go down the inside there, side by side through turn 3. And that corner isn't as flat out as you expect. Coming into turn 4, Nogiak has the inside and takes the position. Holds on to it for now, but he is now going to have to be extra wary of Martin Sepam because he is now right on that back bumper.
Quite surprising actually that Imar left the door open going into turn 3. He just completely gave him the inside line and pretty much let Sepam have the place, but then he started to defend the position so that he had the inside line for the next corner. So yeah, quite a bit of a surprise there.
Yeah, you also saw Sepam lose a lot of ground there coming into that very fast chicane. Lost a lot of ground on the brakes in the draft. Lost all of his downforce. Not a particularly helpful situation for him. Meanwhile, Modestus Runas is having a bit of a battle with Cerny of Empire, down for 9th place in the race. And look at Cerny, he's having to defend already, and that's an FZR as well. That shouldn't have as much pace in a straight line as that XRR does, but he's going around the outside. Can he make this move stick? He's got the run, but Cerny seems to have the inside line, so this will be side by side down the straight again. But Runas does actually seem to have a lot of pace down that straight, Simon.
Yeah, quite surprising actually. Usually the FZR is quite slow in the straight line, but here comes the extra grunt of the XRR. It's no, Runas keeps the position, so yeah, quite a surprise there. The FZR of Runas is looking quite quick at this stage.
Well, Runas taking the position there quite comfortably. Meanwhile, here's Sepam now. Down the pit straight with Nogiak. He goes to the outside, Nogiak on that inside line. He has now pulled back out, trying to defend this position, get the best radius for this chicane. And then through the chicane they come. Sepam much later on the brakes. Nogiak has the inside. Sepam trying to hold around the outside. He can't do it. And he still just can't get past Lublin. Can't get past Nogiak. And can't get that 5th position, can they, Simon?
Nope, they've been trying for quite a while now, and also in that corner as well. Sepam has tried to move around the outside and it's just not working for him.
Yeah, I've also just noticed here as we come now through the final corner, look at the better drive, look at the traction that FZR gets out of the final corner. It gets such a good run out of the final corner, a lot more rear end traction, obviously because of either tyre temperature or the way the car's just set up.
Fastest lap for Isaac Price. So he's starting to pick up the pace at this point in stint. Currently tracking down Drunk Team for 3rd place. He's got his tyres in really perfect condition. He's looking good at the moment. Sonic Realm's currently 2nd in the championship, so they'll be looking to extend that lead. They're just driving an outlapped.
Yes, he definitely will. We saw him making a bit of contact with, I think it was actually Drunk, earlier on in the race, and that left him with quite a bit of damage, but it seems to have ran away almost, Simon. over the course of the stint. He hasn't really been affected by it, has he?
No, it's only a tiny bit of minor damage to the wishbone, so he should get away with that, but his lap time suggests that, that the damage really isn't playing a factor. He's getting some very good split times now. And Sepam has another look at Nogiak going into sector 3. Just that same place again, just cannot get the traction out of the corner because of the FZR's engine being on the rear wheels and having no turbo lag.
Yeah, meanwhile, the guest team, and Dollenbeck responds to Isaac Price's pace and goes another 10th of a second faster than they did, and a big twitch there for Martin Sepam. Let's switch over to Isaac Price now for Sonic Rams Racing and that great scale car, rather. I can't get the word out at all, can I?
He's taking just over, just under half a second out of Drunk Team at this point in the stint, so it surely won't be long before Isaac's going up the inside and looking for a pass.
Through the chicane, there we go, and Isaac Price really on that that stack of tyres there on the inside. Simon, he's using all the road and a little bit more, and how does that really speed him up?
Well, basically the chicane, the cut in that corner can just save you time because you're using less track, and it can eventually just speed up your lap time. You can carry more speed through the corner, so it's not particularly uncommon to see Isaac in particular. I saw him doing it quite a lot in practice sessions, just clipping those tyres in the chicane, just trying to cut the track as much as possible, and it seems to be working for him at this stage. Although he just gets stuck in that draft, and the two do identical lap times, so Isaac not really finding the pace to be able to get ahead of Drunk Team at this stage.
Yeah, identical lap times is something that we've seen in the 3 hours and 45 minutes of Grand Touring Amateur League racing this season. Quite a lot of times actually. It's been a bit of an eye-opener as to how close these drivers really are, as to how many identical lap times or identical sector times we're seeing put in by these drivers. But now Isaac Price seems to be reeling in that car in this very, very fast and fluid first sector of Westhill, and then once you get to these slow corners of the final corner and the slow chicane just at the start of sector 3, he seems to be dropping back a bit. Oh, but we seem to have Sepam. Oh yes,
so,
Sepam.
Yeah, quite a big off there. He's also got quite a lot of left rear suspension damage. It won't be long before he's coming into the pits, I'm sure of that. Quite surprised, eh? Must have. Not sure if we actually call that
Craven.
stream, but yeah, must have just looked for a pass on Nogiak and it didn't work for him.
Somebody looking for a pass and it might work though is Isaac Price. Look at him down the inside of Drunk Team, and look at the run on the brakes there. Is he? Brake lights flashing. I don't know what all that's about, but he slots in front there to take the third place rather. Drunk Team there trying to slot back through turn 2, but it can't be done. Isaac Price taking third place for Sonograms Racing. having a quick confirmation on what actually Isaac Price was doing there when he had his brakes on there. Just coming into turn 1, he was trying to keep the car of Drug Team on the outside of him, keep them there so they couldn't get the switchback. And clever driving there from Isaac Price, wouldn't you say, Simon?
Oh yeah, it shows that maybe Isaac's just got a bit of spare capacity left to think about other things in the race and prevent Drug Team from coming back at him. And it was a very good move, actually. Yeah. In fact, back on the subject of the close pace of the teams, it's been very clear that all season, particularly in this season, it's been very close between the cars. In qualifying, we saw quite often half the field being separated by less than a second, and it just shows really just how much more competitive the series is becoming, which is just a great sign.
Yep, don't forget new restrictions for this year, using the GT9 set of restrictions. I'm sure the number was only picked because nobody else would nick the number. It increased the XRR's intake restriction to 21%. No, the FZR's intake restriction to 21% rather than the 20% it uses in other series, and it did in the past 2 years of GTL racing. And Simon, that really has closed them up, hasn't it?
Oh yeah, it just seems to be slowly but surely the XR has just gained a little bit of an advantage over the FZR. Even this season the XR has not been particularly popular, so it just looks like the admins are keen to close the gap, as it seems we've got Fubar off the track. Oh yeah, Fubar pointing the wrong way in a flat out sweeper. How did that happen?
Yes they are. There is Fubar. You're watching them now. Oh, look at the suspension damage, Simon.
Well, I've not saw damage like that in the league for a while.
Yeah, what's possibly gone on there? How could he have done that?
Unless there's some buggy wall on the inside of the track, I have no idea how he's managed to pick up that much damage. Seems like he's been taking damper lessons from Claudius Kasunas, because his front left damper is impossibly not broken.
Now, here is Kevin Newton to take his place. We're going to watch this continually because it's very, very funny. As Rui crawls his way into the final corner, and how's he going to negotiate this? He's probably going to have to. He's going to have to wait until he finds the wall and then put it against it, or is he going to try and crawl it? No, he's going to try and crawl it, isn't he?
Yep, just wait for the cars to go past the thing so we can go back on the track. Yep.
Yeah.
So
in reality, he should be staying to the inside here, which, there we are. Ooh, hello. That was a bit quick there. He's found the limit of speed that his car's got now without veering off ferociously to the right hand side, but he has in fact made it back to the pits. So fair play to Rui. He'll get that Fubar car back to the pit lane, pitted in, and fixed.
Great stuff. So then, with 52 minutes into the race, I think we may begin to stage of pit stops. which should be around the 1 hour mark. We're getting close to that ever more. So yeah, expect for some action in the next 10 or 15 minutes or so.
Yep, and currently we've got a bit of a pre-pit stop battle between Gahama and Tujavari of Smoking Team. And Tujavari is actually the person that I will be crowning at the end of the season, most probably the most difficult to pronounce name of the year 2011, for the simple fact that I can't actually say his name. I don't know whether that's right or not. I'm sure some very nice Finnish person will come and talk to me in IRC and tell me that I'm completely wrong, like they did with Gravity Racing, that I called Gravd last time. They are in fact Gravity, I think. Yes, but here's another battle, getting onto the point of racing again between Sepam and Craven. Ooh, look at the run Sepam holds there. You can see that even with this damage, you still got a command over Craven. Craven very wiggly there, coming into turn 2 as well, wasn't he, Simon?
Yep. Well, Sepam's eyes are absolutely freezing cold now. That damage is really causing him problems at this point in the stint, and I think it won't be long before Martin Sepam decides to pit, because just through that corner alone, the damage just makes it really unpleasant to drive.
Well, it's not really in the phase of getting a puncture yet, but we all saw what happened last time, and it's definitely a possibility.
Excite Inferno and Cargame.nl are going side by side into the sector 3 chicane. Looks very simple for Excite Inferno, and I think they take 17th place.
Yes, and
Cargame going to try and come back at them.
Here he goes down the straight, and you can see that the XRR without the draft has the best top speed when the FXR gets in that draft. Look at it go around the outside now and into turn 1, and he takes the place for Cargame, does Kruger. But we were saying earlier about the I noticed in IRC Joe Holmes of the Excite Inferno willing somebody to move over because they weren't fast enough on the straight to overtake. So I don't know whether it's a gearing problem or engine damage or something like that for Excite Inferno, but they just seem to be lacking in pace today, don't they?
Yeah, surprisingly off colour, and actually Cargame get held up by the Zion team going into the chicane. This could allow Excite Inferno to get back at them. Yep, here we go. Surprising that FXR's, I mean, even with the engine damage or whatever probably might have, which I'm not entirely sure that it does have, but the FXR has been surprisingly quick at Westhill, which it really shouldn't be that quick. It really doesn't suit the car's characteristics, so it's quite surprising really to see the FXR up there with the FZR and XRR.
It is, but look at Garbalowski as well. He's now hounding the back of these two, and Plutter going down the inside. It's going to make it 3 wide. Garbalowski going down the inside to make it 3 wide in the final corner, and he backs out of one battle, goes down the inside of Cargame, doesn't get the drive, and falls back into 19th position again. That was fun.
Scary stuff. As Seppa makes his pit stop finally, handing the car over to Yanni Torbala from E-Team. David Junt times out as well from Gentles on circuit. He was just coming to the pit lane, so that's not what he wanted.
Here's Leighton and just driving, coming down the inside of Holmberg, and that wasn't just driving that you were looking at there because I pressed the wrong button. Now it is, and Cullen retaking the advantage. This is a three-way battle for 21st position in this race right now, and Holmberg doing a sterling job of holding up AMG and just driving now, having a big incident in turn 1, core racing also involved. Oh, but look at that, switch back from Cullen. And DMG shoving independent racing mates out of 21st and down to 23rd. A bit of an aggressive move there from Cullen. Also here is Smoking Team, about to try anyway and make the move on that team there. It would be nice if somebody helped me out here, but Smoking Team go to the outside, down the pit straight here, side by side as they cross the line. Coming now into turn 1, and can Smoking Team go around the outside? I highly doubt it. But they've done it as well. Pyre just getting on the grass on the inside, slowing the car down just enough to allow Smoking Team around the outside.
It's almost as though the FXR is coming very strong in the late part of the stinks. We have seen FXRs absolutely destroy the other two cars through the first sector at least twice now.
Yes, we have, and a minor disaster for 7 Karat. Here is Jack Ward, their new signing, enters the server and instantly times out. He was going to take over from Garbalowski, who's been in the wars somewhat up to now. Jack Ward reconnecting. He will be able to take the car over, I imagine, albeit no doubt with a bit of time lost there. Noziek in for Lublin Racing. Garbalowski still sitting in the pit lane, so obviously no time lost there. Todorovic in for Serbian Chrome Pistons, who haven't been as competitive by any stretch of the imagination as they were last year. Seem to be struggling in that FZR. Haven't been willing to change into the XRR. Jack Ward now taking over the car of 7 Karat. Turdish for Identity as well is in the pits. Smoking Team in as well. Oh, I've got a puncture! Puncture for Cullen as well. Yep, Cullen now having to crawl his way back to the pit lane. He's going to hold up Drunk Team if he's not careful. Very close to making contact there for Drunk Team. They managed to keep themselves out of the way of AMG and hold on to their skins really, because they are in a very good position at the moment, up in 4th position, which will be 3rd position once you discount the guest team, who obviously won't be scoring points because they're a guest team. What's the point of them being a guest team? Meanwhile, Cullen jacking that inside rear wheel through the final corner. He now finally gets into the pit lane. Problems for both Kuriska and Kiermanskas joining the server. As I'm sure you can all imagine, a high load of people trying to pile into the server at these sort of times. Nearly contact there as well in the pits. I'm sure you nearly saw that between the car of somebody and somebody else. Yeah, I'll be honest, I'm not quite sure who that was. Meanwhile, we have a replacement driver Okay, we're just driving a deadline team. Also, apparently, there was contact between Sonic Realms Racing and Deadline Racing. They made contact in the pit lane. Also, now new driver from the guest team coming in, the man who also may be competing for the man who I can't say the name properly, Javatsu. He will be taking over the car for I don't know, it's the guest team for the next hour. Sonic Realms Racing here, struggling to get past Gahama. Gahama still yet to pit, but this is a sort of Sonic Realms Racing getting squeezed there on pit exit by Gahama, and Gahama going through the cords there. He really does want to hold out this position. I mean, he's still yet to pit, it doesn't really matter. But Isaac Price getting held up for quite a few seconds there, holding Isaac Price up there, did Gahama. Timeout for Jack Ward and Seven Karat. So really, not the best way to start your career in a new team, to time out twice in a row. Oh! Just driving, getting a wheel on the grass there and nearly spinning into Gahama. Behind Isaac Price here. Wow, that was very, very close from the Just Driving car. Jack Ward back in again. And Gravity Racing live on to fight another day, but only just. Meanwhile, down in 11th place, Falconine is on a charge. He's trying to get past Hagner. Meanwhile, here is a bit of a train. Van der Bosch and Tormala going nose to tail through turn 3, then into turn 4. Van der Bosch still holding on. Ooh. Oh, and Tormala tries squeezing down the inside. No gap at all. Contact made. Van der Bosch somehow holding onto the car. An E-team and that team that I don't know what they're called survive somehow after Tormala with some very, very silly driving, sticking his nose where it doesn't belong. But now he belongs. Down that inside, down into the chicane, later on the brakes than Van der Bosch, down the inside of Van der Bosch, takes the position from Van der Bosch, And now it's Joe Holmes' turn to try and cause a bit of a scare. And here comes Joe Holmes squeezing on the inside of the grass! On the grass, second person on the grass trying to claim a position from Van der Bosch. And Van der Bosch is really holding on to this very well. Fighting what he gets. Back off a big slide though on the exit of that corner. Loses the advantage that the FZR has on exit of the final corner. And now he's on that white line. Joe Holmes ducking and diving everywhere. Goes down the inside of Van der Bosch. And now Van der Bosch around outside. He'll have the inside for turn 2 and he will hold on to this position. For now, contact is made though from Joe Holmes. And Van der Bosch goes flying through the gravel trap. And back out the other end, he loses 2 positions. As of that, and that was just a bit of a racing incident there. It's very unlucky for Van der Bosch. A very gracious effort there from him to try and hold on to Van der Bosch. And he, although he didn't do so, he did a very good job in trying. Meanwhile, I've clicked on the wrong car. I want to look at this guy, Raptor, for Falkenhayn. He is still trying to catch onto this TDRT car of Hagler rather. Thomas Neugier also rejoining the track, I think. No, he's not, he's off! That's Martinson. Martinson is off for independent racing mates. And he has some very heavy rear left damage and very hot tyres as well. So I can't be sure as to what's happened to him. Jack Ward gets a drive-through penalty for something. Oh, and Martinson off again. Oh, and he rejoins right in front of Joe Holmes. And look, oh, he spins again! Spins again! This is very scary. We now have a very slow car trailing around the circuit here, and oh, he spins right in front of Car Game! Right in front of Car Game! My life! These are some of the scariest moments I think I've ever seen in motorsport. This is very leery. Another spin right in the middle of the chicane, and he's gonna come over. Oh God.
I think it's safe to say that it's only safe for him to pit. Or just get off the track, get off the surface, something like that. Oh, safety car. There we go. I imagine that it is for independent racing mates Martinson at this point.
Yep, I mean they're not NASCAR, they're done with competition cautions here at NDR. So, yeah, that must be what this safety car's for. So the safety car is in fact now on track, and Stuart Baker, who we saw driving this very car. Well, not this very car. Well, it might be in this very car, but it's been painted anyway. I'm getting off the point. Stuart Baker will lead the cars around in the car, the very car that he drove in. Ooh, what's going on here? That was pure battling between 20 and 12 there. Van den Bosch and somebody else, I think it was.
I think it might have been the number 12 of G. Heinrich.
Yep, that is us welcoming as well. Welcoming back Oscar Hardwick to the box.
Hello, everybody.
So yeah, some very interesting scenes here with the 14 car. And I mean, Oscar, I know it's a amateur league, but do you really think that this is too much for an amateur league, or do you think this should be expected?
The issue is that we have seen, I'd say we saw worse damage on Fubar earlier on, who had a rear-wheel drive car rather than a four-wheel drive car. I think that there should be a greater level of control, so as they could have at least limped it back in a safe manner to the pits without causing a safety car. I mean, it makes the race a lot more interesting to us that there's a safety car, but for the drivers on track, it's a safety hazard, and B, it's just making their lives a lot more difficult in bunching everyone up. And that safety cars breed safety cars. This could just be hurting everybody's race and everybody's time. Okay, watching the field form up behind the safety car at the moment. I imagine most of the drivers are sitting there somewhat confused as to the fact that there wasn't a car stuck or upside down anywhere on the circuit, and also slightly frustrated at the fact that they're now bunched right back up and all of the fighting that they've driven their hearts out to avoid is going to return. The good news is that for us as spectators, as commentators, this is brilliant, because we'll be busy for at least the next 20 minutes after this safety car comes in, and the racing will once again be as epic as it was at the beginning, which you unfortunately missed. So I guess you could in a way call this a backup start for the fact that the stream wasn't running to start off with. So please do enjoy it if and when, well, I'd say if, when the race gets back underway. Oh, and the safety car speed has been reduced, presumably because there are some cars either struggling to catch up, or another reason that's not that one.
Yep, so most probably another lap under safety car before we go green yet again, and there is our guest car Javansu in the XR of Adenoids Racing at the moment. They will lead us away from the safety car. Behind them though are several lap cars, three in fact, before we get to Isaac Price, who's sitting in second place for Sonic Realms Racing, with Marais for Generic Racing, I think it is it?
I think it might be Genuine Racing, Mr. Wilkinson.
Yes, close enough. They are
it is close
third,
enough.
and the two cars behind. So I mean, there are big gaps in between the actual racing cars here, Oscar.
There are big gaps, but the only gap that I'm going to say I'm personally interested in is the one between Isaac Price and Samsa Javansu, because we've not seen Javansu's pace. He's not been on track long enough for us to know what it is, but Isaac was firmly on pace with anyone else on circuit. So you've got to imagine that as soon as Isaac can clear Fubar Racing and the other two cars in front, and I think that the other two cars, I think Fubar, Zion and TEM are the three lapped cars in between him and Adenoids, I do think that this is Isaac's chance to fight through and take the lead and possibly establish a lead for the rest of the race.
meanwhile, while we sit and wait for the safety car period to end and for us to get back underway, let's briefly talk about the return of one of Live for Speed's most popular series here, Masters of Endurance, and we return to your screens at 12 PM UTC from Kyoto GP Long for the 12 hours of Kyoto on December the 4th. So book your days, holiday on Saturdays, I suppose. If you work on Saturdays, then you better book a holiday, yes, because this will be an absolute thriller, and we'll be back properly to Masters of Endurance in just a few weeks' time. And Oscar,
and we are
excited about that.
Yeah, I'm hugely excited. At the moment, I'm more excited about the race that we're about to have underway as Javansu leads them to the... Oh, the green flag's fallen. The green flag is away. What? Oh, there is a crash already. AMG is off. AMG just driving again, getting involved in a stark incident. That's got to be gutting. That's Vigeka and...
Look at Van den Bosch. Van den Bosch and Kruger and Heinrich going 3 wide into turn 1.
Yeah, that was bold driving from Van den Bosch, and bold driving that we saw him as just laps before the caution was called. It's been brilliant today. For me, almost unheard of. I'm sure it's been around for some time. And as Jack Ward times out, it seems to be inevitable as he is timing out joining the server. Oh, and it's Falkenheim on Brestovac, and there's also Mrs. Yelek.
Falkenheim goes on the grass. Falkenheim goes on the grass and 3 wide down the straight. Tom and a
4 wide.
4 wide in the chicane. And then the battle progressing further back. This cannot go without accident. Holmes on the grass on the inside. Wow.
We were just saying, is this slightly too bad a level of driving for an amateur league? But what we just saw there was about 8 cars going to 1 gap, and all Holmes and Bueland. Oh dear. We just saw about 8 cars going to 1 gap, and everyone came out alive, which is hugely impressive.
Yeah, this is absolutely phenomenal.
Something completely worth mentioning is that Isaac Price has taken the lead whilst we were watching all of that, and Javansu is now in second for Adenoids. Sonic Realms lead the 3 hours of Westhill.
Yes, but in all honesty, it was worth missing as Hogner gets hit by Gravity Racing, who got hit. Oh, and Gravity Racing it backwards! Gravity Racing it backwards in the middle of the road! Kruger in the gravel. Bjorklund gets back on the road. We've got Conquest just getting out the gravel now. And that all started off there by Core Racing getting a bit too agitated in the pack, just making a little bit of contact with Gravity Racing, who made a little bit of contact with TDRT and caused all of that massive scrap. Falkenheim with a train now of Noziek and Tormler, Oscar.
It looks like Noziek's going to have a good look down the inside here. Will Falkenheim be able to hold him off around the outside? We've seen it done many times, and I think he's going to be able to, although Noziek is putting up a more than adequate fight. Oh, and here's Tormler. Why don't... 3 is a crowd, as they say, and Tormler is trying to make it 3 wide on the grass. Oh, God. Be interesting to see who can break the latest here. Tormler underneath Noziek. Falkenheim. Ooh, contact. I don't know where to look. There's a lot going on at the moment. Holmes has managed to get through as well. Tormler getting completely shut out the way by Noziek there. Noziek weaving all over the place, skirting no one any good, because you're weaving about and slowing you down, and Joe Holmes is going to overtake everybody. Tormler! Watch where you're going. Again, I think that's just about left their positions as is, apart from the fact that Holmes has now got to run on Noziek. Who knows what will happen next? Possibly an explosion or cars on their roofs, but I hope I've not jinxed anything. Right, the closest battle at the moment seems to be Falkenheim moving on Joe Holmes. I think that they might be able to outbrake each other, but Falkenheim might have a run on Holmes into the next corner. Chevy getting out of the way very nicely there. Falkenheim diving down the inside, but Joe Holmes holding him off. And that is just our 7-carat reconnect for the umpteenth time, and with Garbalowski back in the car.
And joining us in the server now is Marius Golombek. Hello, Marius.
Hey guys.
Hello, Marius. You drove a pretty clean, fairly straightforward stint, led from the start of the race to the end of your stint. Javansu's just gone and lost the position to Isa Price. Were you expecting that to happen with Javansu's pace?
Well, to be honest, I think he could fairly keep up. I guess if we lose some second, it's not that bad. Simon's definitely doing the next stint, so I think he could get some gap down. Currently it's a bit over 1 second, which is definitely good. We've got a bit of half an hour to go until he pits again, and if it's not going over, let's say 5 seconds or something, I guess we stand pretty good chances for the win.
Well, we can only hope. Another thing worth mentioning is the fact that not only in this round, but the round before, you specifically seem to be the pace of the field. You have taken pole position in both races, and you've set nigh on fastest laps in both. Not in this one. I think Isa Price currently holds the fastest lap. That was a question. Not sure where it was going. You know what I'm like.
Well, I guess the setup development pays off in the end. We've done a lot of development for the first set indeed, a bit less for this one because everybody just had a bit of less time, and we wouldn't know until the end who's driving for Exile Inferno. Yeah, and in the end we found a pretty good base set. We kept developing, and when the wind setting, or when it was unveiled that there will be low wind, we pretty much drove into a wall with the set, and we had to work something around, so we initially drove lower wings than we do now. And yeah, we do drive quite too high wings for this combo. In fact, I guess without wind we would be losing about 2/10 per lap. But with the wind setting, the car is just more stable and more consistent, and yeah, I think we could have a really clean, really consistent pace without risking too much.
Yeah, so how much actually do you change your setup making and edit your setups to work with the wind?
We started with a setup which had 12/8 wings. We started off the IGTC set, which was based by Borbeck and our teammate Commander, which was great setup for GT1. Usually we experience that GT1 setups with a bit change in the suspension and the wing work quite well for GT2 as well, so we started with that. Yeah, and so the development gone, and we found some new development status in the track, and we found that we could do a better times or a better performance with lower wings. So in the end it went quite well, but it was just too hard to drive. We were doing about low 35s from the beginning, but just the tiniest mistake, tiny mistake just put you right into the wall. And then the wind was announced, so we started to raise the wings, and yeah, in the end it went a bit slower, but definitely we gained some consistency, and for endurance racing you might want to lose half a second per lap if you don't crash every 5 laps, so we definitely went for that way.
Sorry to butt in, but Runas has just taken out Terzic. That was a fairly bold move to go under there, and it's taken out Terzic. That's gonna be a bit of a pain. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a drive-through given for unavoidable contact.
Oh, and Terzic. Ooh.
Terzic getting a bit of an team identity dropped to 11th place now. So, work to do for Terzic now.
So, as a guest team, what are your goals in a season such as this? Because you're not scoring points or anything, but you must have some sort of goals to be going on.
Well, as a guest team, like you said, not scoring points, our aim wouldn't be to win the championship, because obviously this is not possible. Rather, we would try to get some amateur drivers into the team and just pull them to the bit faster lap times and just help them up. For example, this race we've got Joku from Finland, who isn't that quite of a fixture in endurance racing. So he's doing quite fine right now. So he just kept practicing with Simon Cattell, and together with Mr. Hutchinson.
Whoa, Hartner! Sorry to
huge
interrupt
accident. Absolutely huge accident.
Hartner's somehow sitting in the middle of the road on the exit of turn 1, and obviously someone would hit him, and inevitably it happened, and he now is in the gravel trap, slowly scuttling his way out. Everybody else somehow managing to get away without dying big style. There's somebody off the track. There was Terzic. This could be disaster. He's slowly getting his way out of the gravel trap, and he will get out. Whew, this was so close to a safety car. Ooh, stopping as well in the gravel trap. He gets himself out. That was a very risky manoeuvre, though.
That's a madness.
That's definitely what we expected before the race. It's already madness without wind, but if the wind comes to this just tiniest mistake during some fighting around other cars will just not take out yourself, but some other cars as well. And if you crash, there's not much of gap to get off the track and don't danger or endanger other people. Rather, you just spin right onto the track again, and that's what's causing the things we've just seen, and it could end up in definite madness.
So, Marius, you being the fastest driver on Adenoid's racing team, in essence you have been so far statistically in the season, are you the person that is teaching the other drivers in the team and guiding them into setting times that are as respectable as they are?
Well, I actually don't think so, because a lot of the development just has been done by us in the Excite Inferno team, and we just contacted Simon then and with Adenoids, and we tried to get the setup together. Sadly for this round we could only fix the setup like a day before the race, and they could just get used to it yesterday, so it was not that good. But for example, in the first round we started developing the setup together, and for Sebastian and me it was the task to get the amateur drivers up and onto the same pace, and that includes of course just watching practice together, just some setup testing to really see where it's going. It's always hard to get just a setup which we feel is quick to be as quick for the other drivers as for us. So if, for example, this setup is quite oversteery and quite pointy, and if you're not used to it, it might feel too oversteery for you, so you have to get really used to it. And for that, the evolution of the setup is just important. We need to take the amateur drivers with us, to have them onto the boat of evolution of the setup, and to really teach them what's the key. And yeah, above all stands consistency and concentration, I guess, because Price is, for example, proving right now, he is doing quick lap times, and Juventus is trying to keep up. But it's going quite well, and the race is just at a half pace, and I guess if he's continuing like that, a podium finish is the key. And for that, it's a good result for some amateur drivers who are not that involved in endurance racing, so they can see that it's definitely possible to go into the top teams, definitely possible to do the same lap times as the pros and so on. And about the whole league, I don't think the league is so far off of the pro leagues. Let's mention IGTC and MOE, because we've seen a lot of quite experienced racing teams who are trying to get their amateur drivers up I would just like to enumerate, for example, Conquest, Tiger Express Motorsports, ET definitely, Sonic Realms, and everybody just has a bit of a driver who isn't that involved in IGTC and MOE, and then just picking them, putting him into the lineup and trying to pick him up for having some races and to improve themselves.
Okay, Marius, well, thank you very much for giving us a bit of insight on what it is to drive and be a part of a guest team. Best of luck with the rest of the race and all of the best with the rest of the season and your amateur drivers.
Thanks a lot, and definitely good luck for everyone driving right now, and keep up the good commentary.
Thank you. Anyway, back to what's going on circuit, and everybody is relatively spread out again. Oh, apparently not. Vanden Bosch and Bjorklund are right together. Bjorklund not got a hope. Oh, but Kruger's going under him. Has Bjorklund got a problem? He's got slight damage, but there might be some engine damage there as well. I can't really tell at the moment, but he seems to be going considerably slower than the other cars around him.
In fairness to the lad, he is in an FXR. He's got an FXR in a draft, in a massive draft, a double draft, in actual fact, from the FZR and also from Gravity Racing, and an FZR to battle with, and obviously the FXR with no aerodynamic assistance will definitely be slower down the straight. He seems to be gathering this time back up to cargame.nl, and Cargame had a very good performance up to now today.
They have. It's a complete mirror to their performance at Kyoto National, where it's fair to say that they weren't on par with the rest of the teams in the top 20, top 15 really. But here they've been right on the pace, and they've been driving that FXR on the limit at which they're happy and doing a very, very good job of it.
Joe Holmes starting to attack the Raptor racing car, Falkenhayn as well, down in the battle for 8th, and Falkenhayn goes through the tyres, spinning some tyres for Joe Holmes there, but Joe has the run, and this should be easy pickings for him. Falkenhayn going to the left hand side, trying to defend that inside, but it will not be enough, because Holmes, oh, it will be enough, oh no it won't, Holmes goes around the outside, it's given the inside for the next corner, and there we have it, Holmes up into 8th place for the Excite Inferno.
Bjorklund is back on Vanden Bosch. Is he going to have a look here? No, he isn't. He's going to sensibly just stay behind for the time being.
Yeah, let's see if we can get a run. No, coming into the final corner now, and he seems to have the draft. He does have the draft. He goes to the inside. So now it's all about the braking strength, and Bjorklund gets in front. Now can Vanden Bosch get the exit? I think he can. He will be in the draft. He will be able to stream past Bjorklund now in that FXR, and he will have no hope at all of holding him off, Phil Bjorklund.
No, that was like two different classes on the straight. Vanden Bosch just drove straight around him with no problems whatsoever.
So then everything calming down somewhat now. 60 laps into this race, and 1 hour and 40 minutes. We're over the halfway stage, folks. Let's go on to the tracker and have a look at where everybody stands around about now.
Oh. As Rook said, everything seems to have calmed down. I think that there is about, I don't know exactly, 16 cars still on the lead lap, and everybody else is at least a lap down. Garbalowski being the most laps down due to 7 carats, various disconnections and incidents. Interestingly, Garbalowski is currently trying to unlap himself from the number 12 car of Heinrich, and I don't really know why, but he's trying to, so may as well see what's going on there. Is he going to make a move down the inside? Yes, he is. They've made contact.
And he's going to... Yeah, and Great White North...
Racing.
Them. Yeah, racing.
Yeah.
They have a half spin there in the chicane. They won't lose position, but lose time from a lap car that decides it wants to go.
They lost the position to the number 27 of Tersic.
Yeah, in Team Infinity. Yes, you're right. I'm talking out of my backside.
Not Team Infinity, Team Identity.
Oh, close enough! Anyway. Okay, after an hour and 23 minutes, here are the current positions in Sonic Realms Racing. Lead with Isaac Price in the car. Adenoids is the guest team are holding their position, so we'll not count them as an actual position. In second place overall is Deadline Racing, with third place being held by E-Team and Tomla. Fourth is currently held by Drunk Team in the second fastest FZR. God, I'm really off killing today. Genuine Racing in fifth. I'm okay.
Are you sure? Would you like to get your cup of tea?
I'm fine. In sixth, the X-Ray in 5.7, with Raptor Racing in 8th, 7 Chrome Pistons in 9th, and Car Game doing an excellent job in the FXR, fastest FXR up to now. They're in 10th. Crazy Drivers team in 11th, with Gravity Racing in 12th, and Smoking Team in 13th. Team Identity holds 14th, with Great White North Racing in 15th, and TDRT in 16th. Core Racing are in 17th after a heap load of problems. 18th goes to Empire, and 19th to Tiger Express Motorsports, with Automotive Gods in 20th. Just driving, our championship leaders and last race winners are down in 21st position, a lap down, after incidents in turn 1 with Conquest Racing in 22nd and Zion in 23rd, after what can only be described as a bit of a hell day for Zion. Gentles on Circuit are in 24th place, with Fubar in 25th, Independent Racing Mates in 26th, and 7 Karat, a mighty 7 laps down in 27th after the timeout of Jack Ward.
Now, the closest battle on track that I can see at the moment is Tershik on Smoking Team's Lavani. Oh, and Tershik's gone down the inside and Lavani's off. As soon as I say these things, something bad happens. I should really be quiet every now and then. Another thing, probably worth mentioning about Smoking Team's car, is the fact that the front of it looks a bit like a bulldozer. Or, as Dominic Enkel would like to say, a bus. But I'll leave that point alone for now.
Meanwhile, also a drive-through penalty going to car 18, and that is
AMG.
AMG. Thank you, Mr. Hardwick, my glamorous assistant, who plays Big Croquet, for causing an avoidable incident on the restart.
I'm not completely sure what happened with AMG on the restart there, because all I saw of it was them, before the green flag had actually been called, going suddenly sideways and veering across the track, taking out most of the people there, which happen to be just driving again. I don't know what happens. We would have to find out from them or someone else.
We have a 4-car battle now between Drunk. Oh, and here comes Mariz from Genuine on Zion. No, not Zion, the other one. Lublin. No, it is Zion. No, they're a lap down. I'm talking out my backside.
You are, and you're lucky. You beat me to it there. You did say Lublin before I could say Ateem.
Meanwhile, Noziek. Oh, Noziek and Zion, and then you make contact on the pit straight, but Zion weaving around, trying to get out of the way of both Noziek and Holmes as they come down the pit stretch. But these are the two that are closest right now on track.
As you may be able to tell from the silence, there is not a great deal going on the circuit at the moment.
There's actually quite a lot happening on this server after Genuine just dropped a wheel there. Just as you said, not a lot's happening. And here comes Noziek trying to attack Genuine Racing. No joy through the final corner, but Maria's had that inside. I got it all! There goes Joe Holmes!
I should obviously say nothing's happening a lot more often.
You should just create a bang on your keyboard so that whenever you say nothing's happening, we get a crash. That would be perfect for MOE. 24 hours, just bang, 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 bang. Smash it.
Exactly. You know, we can get to the 7, 8 hour mark and nothing will be happening. I will have fallen asleep in a puddle of my own who knows what, and then I can just hit a button and there'll be a huge accident. And that's not the first time I've done something like that today, so it is just proof that the commentator's curse is real.
Yes. Meanwhile, while we were watching Joe Holmes take a slide into the tower, we saw... Oh, we didn't see, actually, that's the point. We missed Lublin Racing Team with Noziek at the wheel. We missed them overtaking Genuine Racing. So they are now on a charge to get past Drunk Team as they come up the hill and round the bend.
E-Team have taken deadline. E-Team have taken deadline. We've missed that. We're missing all of the important things now. This isn't going well. I'm wondering if we can have a good look at the front end of Smoking Team's car, because I imagine that's scraping a little on the floor.
I think something a bit more pressing at the moment, though, is Thomas Noziek, who is now right on the bumper of Drunk Team, who get a very poor exit from the chicane. Here comes Thomas Nojek down the inside, through. Down the inside they come into the slow chicane, and Nojek can turn back to the curb and use all of the road there because he's got past on the back straight. Phenomenal run for Loveland Racing. They're now up to 5th in just 3 laps.
Oh, and Telcler's having a look at Chevy. I don't know if that's for position or just for bragging rights. Oh, it's... Oh, a switchback! That was a brilliant move from Telcler. Is he going to hold it though? Yes, he is. And Tershik is trying to spin out behind them.
Yeah, meanwhile there's battling for position rather than just for... because of the board. Here, between Helmrich, Lavani and Hagner here.
If Hagner can get a good run out of this corner, which he's not going to do with that sort of a line, then he would have overtaken Navani, but he's not because he is being rubbish. Oh, and that's not Leighton, it's just another one of the Just Driving team, is Vigaya, who's come through on the inside, and so's Broad. Contact, careful. Can't decide who's going to go through here. Someone. I think Broadfeld's got the position, but I'm not really sure. He might do. No, Heinrich's coming back. This would be easier if I just said that they're side by side instead of trying to decide who's going to come out in front, but never mind.
Both what also of note is that Brofeld is a lap down to Heinrich. So Brofeld really shouldn't actually be battling here, like he is at the moment.
Shouldn't, but has been with most people that's a lap in front of him anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Well, not to him anyway.
No. Meanwhile, Falkenhayn's really now, he's flying down the road, catching up to the car of Genuine Racing and Marais, and he is now right of the back again. So Marais is out of struggling for pace, so Falkenhayn is absolutely on an absolute charge. I should have changed absolutely for Genuine there, then it would have been funny. But anyway.
Yeah. Bit late though. You missed your opportunity.
Yeah.
I'll be interested to see if they get the position though, because this is where the points are really won and lost in a championship, around the position that they're in at the moment.
And a half minutes gone in this race now, with Sonic Rams Racing in the lead from the guest team Adenoids Racing, with 18 the reigning champions in second place points scoring. We will be hitting the second and final round of pit stops very shortly here now. Falkenhayn is the car you're watching for. Raptor Racing, they're trying to catch up to Genuine Racing, who's just ahead of them. And Oscar, a bit slow progress, but he's... Oh, as he gets on the grass there. Slow progress getting past, but my god, did he catch quickly, didn't he?
Yes. He is... He's been catching people quickly for most of the day, but he never seems to have been in a position that's as high up as people around him. It's almost as though he's got the consistency as a driver in the team, as the consistency as a team over the cars around them, but that's not winning them the race. So who knows what could happen with it. Hopefully they'll start making a move on Marit on the next straight, which I think they will, as they've gotten in the draft now. This is a move for Raptor Racing on Genuine Racing. He's going to go down the inside, not sure if it'll work. Yes, he's braked a lot later. Big lockup though. Yeah, I'll call that a pass. I think he's got the position now.
Maria's though may have the draft. Yeah. I think Maria's, if he'd kept a bit tighter and stayed at the back of Falkenhayn, he would have had this a lot earlier. But Falkenhayn there, double moving, questionable driving. Legality there from Falkenhayn, but he loses time on the inside line, as everybody does. Down the inside for turn 2 goes Genuine Racing, and they take the position with absolute ease. Perfection from Maria there.
That was just driving with a cool head, I think is one way to put it. And Falkenhayn, slightly questionable driving with moving across the track twice, but that's defending a position, and I think anyone would do it in his shoes. I would, definitely.
Falkenhayn catching back on Maria now after the mistake that he made in letting Maria get into that draft. He made the move in the straight shoe, you'll remember now. And yep, now he may have the draft himself though. Newton in the pits behind as the pit stops start rolling in. We're going to have to say goodbye to Oscar in the server, but he'll still be kicking around to give us all the posh mannerisms that he's usually giving us. Maria getting a poor exit from that chicane again. Falkenhayn getting a good one again. They're both strong where they're strong and not so strong where they're not so strong.
Congratulations on stating the bleedingly obvious.
Maria missing the apex on the exit of the chicane, but then Falkenhayn drops a wheel and loses any advantage he could get, and this is just lose some gain some, lose some gain some from both of these two. All we're waiting for now is the big mistake that'll define who's going to hold on to 7th place until the pit stops occur. Tormiller in the pits for E-Team. Oscar, your reaction to E-Team doing the pit stop dance?
Am I expected to make some music and do a silly dance now then?
And nobody will see you, so I suppose it's okay.
Well, I could. You could imagine me doing a silly dance if you'd like. If you'd like to have that vision of me also in a dress whilst doing the dance. And that's
You're also playing
acceptable.
big croquet.
I am playing, yeah. This is a story that possibly not everyone will know about, but I am a keen player of giant croquet.
Yes, if anybody actually wants proof of this, there is in fact pictures of Oscar Hardwick playing big croquet on his Facebook page, so if anybody wants to see Oscar playing really big croquet and maybe joining our McTake here in the NDR commentary box, then you're all more than welcome to join into our ring of laughter. But here is the run. Falkenhayn has the run again on Marais. No, he doesn't. Well, he does, but not as much as he needs. Yeah, that's what I want to say. And Falkenhayn as well, he goes to the inside, tries to make a move on the inside. We see Dominic Engel. Oh, Marais getting very sideways on the exit. Very sideways on the exit. Here comes Falkenhayn. He's going to the right-hand side, lifting off the throttle, wants to be on the left-hand side. He's trying to get there, he hasn't got the run. Now he's in the draft for the final corner. Down the inside he goes, later on the brakes, but Marais holds it from the outside. Oh, does he? He goes too deep. Falkenhayn doesn't have the exit. Oh, but Marais cuts back into the pits. Oh, and TDRT are having some major problems with their suspension after that incident they had. I've never actually noticed this. Meanwhile, Heinrich having to defend from Brofeld, and they're not even on the same lap. And this is a bit sort of...
If Heinrich is having to defend, I don't think that he should be defending. If the person behind him is a lap down, he shouldn't have to defend from them. So surely he should just stick to his line and turn down on them, and it would be completely their fault for trying to go under a car. It would be ridiculous.
I don't know, but I mean... Dominic Engel takes over the Cyclams racing car and hops back out of the pits in 5th place, which gives them the prospective lead over E-Team. Meanwhile, E-Team have actually hopped Adenoids Racing in the pit stop. Simon Cattell now taking over the car for the guest team Adenoids, and they have in fact lost the 2nd position. So Simon really has some work to do now to try and claw back that gap. Also, everybody at home, you probably should know this already, but if you don't already know this, we in the comment box at the moment, we have a Sonic Grounds driver and myself, and an E-Team driver in Oscar Hardwick, and we're currently battling away from the lead. So this could get quite entertaining in this this quaint little comedy box.
I'm saying nothing. Nainlisa got told off for saying something last time, so I'm going to be quiet.
Meanwhile, we have a battle between Gahama and Heinrich. Angle just clipping the tyre wall there. In the fast chicane. Drunk team into the pits. So they will drop down from second place that they currently hold. Falkenhayn will inherit second for a few laps. Their new driver, Mr. Vant, is coming in within a lap. And Falkenhayn will come in at the end of this lap. Also to take over will be Hasish of Thomas Nojek's team, Lublin Racing. So Lublin will also pit this lap. A slow car there as well on the chicane. It's Kevin Newton
of a team, if you weren't aware. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? It's actually Fubar. That's
yes,
the one.
it is,
You're there. You've got it.
Yeah.
Chris Wilkinson has finally overcome his fear of saying what the team's name actually is.
Oh, Cullen! Hello, Cullen. Hello, Cullen. Getting very sideways, dropping away on the grass, coming into the fast chicane, and the car obviously trying to rotate as he brakes on the grass, but survives to live another day. Well, he's done today, but fight another day is what I meant. Nojek in the pit. Nojek gets his puncture on pit entry, and that was a very dramatic pit entry from Thomas Nojek, known as Imol. To any of you not, to any of you knowing elephants a bit more than others, that made no sense at all. Falkenhayn also in as well, and Dominic Engel inherits the lead for Summit Rams Racing with 52 minutes remaining. Dominic Engel and Summit Rams Racing lead from E-Team.
In third place is Simon Cattell for Adenoids. Fourth place is Kilmalanskas for Deadline, and in fifth place is Pasic for Lublin, and that rounds out the current top five, although I imagine that Drunk Team will be driving back with a vengeance trying to get that final top five position.
Yep. Meanwhile, Vant being overtaken by Heidemann for Genuine Racing. Meanwhile, Drunk Team on the way back from their pit stop there, sitting in 6th. Will score points for 5th, and they want points for 4th place. They want to get past Besiktas and the Lublin Racing Team. By the way, I'm fairly sure that this Lublin driver isn't actually called Besiktas. I think it's Pastis or something like that. It's a bit foreign, so I'm not particularly entitled or qualified to say what his name is. But one thing I do know is that Drunk are now very close to the back of his car and are going to try and make a pass here. Besiktas holding that white line on the outside, because outside is better than inside through turn 1. He can carry so much more speed through. Falk wants to try it on the inside. He's got nothing better to do, but he gets past before the turn, before the actual corner, and takes the position. Can the Lublin Racing man get past? No, he certainly cannot. Loses 5th place in the race to Drunk Team, and they are back on the charge for a podium position.
And Engel nearly collided with Lombardi there. Oh, that was very nearly the end of Sonic Realms' lead.
Yeah, well, Dommy Engel and Vince Lombardi used to be teammates at Tiger Express Motorsports before Dommy Engel made the switch to Sonic Realms Racing, and you'd think they'd have a bit of an understanding as to where each other's going to go, but plainly not. And Dommy Engel nearly ending his race. Unfortunately, we missed that on the actual stream, but Dommy Engel.
I think the key set of words used in that sentence about Dommy Engel and Vince Lombardi is that they used to be teammates. They no longer are.
Meanwhile, the gap between Sonic Realms Racing and E-Team is 6.93 seconds.
Which in racing terms is lots. Well, I say lots. If you make a mistake, it's gone.
Very true. It'll be fun to see if they can catch that back in around about 48 minutes. However, right now, there's no gap to catch up for Joe Holmes. He's right on the back of London Racing. Look at him down the inside for turn 3. Contact! The London driver turning in to Excite Inferno there. Joe Holmes holding his ground. And he takes 6th place, albeit a bit aggressively. See, yes, probably should have looked to his left there, see if Holmes was going to make the move. We must have expected it. However, he didn't cover it early enough. And this is the place. Genuine Racing may also be able to take advantage of this as well, because Lublin seem to be struggling for pace now, don't they, Oscar?
They do seem to be struggling for pace, and I imagine that's because they've put their slowest driver in last.
E-Team crawling in over half a second in just one lap there, and this is actually looking quite a good run for E-Team. Can they do this? Can they actually overthrow SR's New Dimension Racing event domination over the past few months, with Sebastian Hutchinson and Simon Gattel all coming to fruition? Can E-Team overthrow this? They beat them at the end of last season's GTL in the final round. Can they beat them in this round? Meanwhile, here come Genuine on the back of Lublin. So Lublin are about to drop another place if they're not careful. Genuine in the draft now on the back straight. Besiktas is going to cover that inside line. Round the outside goes Genuine Racing. Can they do it? Oh, easy peasy St. Greavesy, and that beautiful skin and that beautiful car of Genuine Racing goes flying past Lublin Racing like they were nothing, like they were a GT3 car. Kilmanskis and Leighton as well, distant from position after all of the issues for just driving, but they're having an absolutely fantastic battle here. And Kilmanskis just being overtaken by Gavin Leighton. He'll probably catch him up within a lap or two, and they'll be battling all over again. So it's really exciting stuff, not helping Deadline Racing at all. They're being caught by Drunk Team quite steadily, actually. Meanwhile, Cattell, he's actually struggling for pace in comparison to Tom. They're not catching him up as much as I expected, but now the gap between Dominic Engel and Tomala is now less than 5 seconds.
So when I said that 6.9-ish seconds was a really, really big gap, what I actually meant to say was that it's not. However, I have nothing further to say on the matter. And on that lap alone, Johnny Tomala was 1.1 seconds faster than Dominic Engel.
Yeah, and with 45 minutes to go, a full second lead with a second advantage per lap is not going to take 45 minutes to claw back at all, is it, Oscar?
It's not. In fact, it's going to take something more like about 7 to 10 minutes, I'd imagine.
Then again, Tom, they does have quite a hefty amount of traffic now in front of him that Dominic Engel did in fact weave his way through on the last lap, which is why he was so much slower than Tomala, rather than a second advantage, more like, rather than a couple of tenths advantage, more like a second advantage for Tomala last lap. However, now Tomala has to try and navigate this traffic, and he's doing it a lot easier than Dominic Engel had to. Core Racing's Christensen in the pits.
Puncture. He got a puncture as he came to the first turn of Sector 3.
Sounds like a fun place to get a puncture. Yeah, Tomala's honking. He has to be passed. He knows he has to be passed. He has to get this advantage back to Dominic Engel. He has to do it. And Lombardi showing his loyalty almost to Dominic Engel. He's holding up Tomala like that was professional holding up there from Vince Lombardi. Nothing against the rules at all. He was just waiting for a position in which he could let Tomala pass safely, but you know, Lombardi didn't do anything wrong. He's sitting there in the draft, fair play to him. And now, with all traffic cleared for almost all traffic cleared for both parties, this is going to be a bit of a nail biter. a warning does in fact go to the Tiger Express Motorsports car for blocking. Meanwhile, Joe Holmes has caught up to Falk, so we've got a bit of an interesting swing of things while we wait for the battle for the lead to develop somewhat a bit more. So then Cullen in the way of Falk now. This is holding Falk up rather. Perfect opportunity for Joe Holmes to try and take an advantage and get past Drunk Team, isn't it, Oscar?
It is a beautiful advantage, but I think Falk's going to make use of the traffic here and possibly give himself a bit more gap. No, he isn't. Cullen stopped on the apex, never mind. That ruined my theory.
Lead fallen to 3.82 seconds now. But right now, a tenth of a second a lap, 2/10 of a second a lap, is not going to close this gap, is it?
My maths isn't quick enough for this. Hold on a second. It is actually just-ish. If this is how the pace continues, then they'll be bumper hugging for the last 2 or 3 laps.
Okay, 2 theories destroyed in less minutes than 2.
Yeah.
We are rubbish, aren't we?
We are utterly rubbish. We're only here because no one else can do the job because they're talented enough to be driving. We just sit here because we are like Martin Brundle essentially, i.e. we could be racing but we're not quite good enough at it, so we talk about the racing instead and pretend to know what we're doing. We don't.
Actually, it's more like PE teachers. If you can't talk about it. Anyway, here comes Falk trying to defend his position. Holmes trying to go around the outside. No joy, they've got Harvey in that heavily damaged TDRT car in front, but Joe Holmes will have the draft. Falk defending the white inside line. Joe Holmes wants the white line. He goes down the inside. Falk's hoping that he emerges. Still side by side, making a bit of contact to slow him down. Questionable motives for that contact there. And Joe Holmes squeezing Falk into the white line and into the curving on the outside. And he takes the place. And the Excite Inferno move up to 5th after a very slow start. But they've taken the full race to their advantage and they're up down to 5th place, 4th place in the points. It's been a good performance, especially from Joe Holmes and their previous driver. Their driver had them for hour 2, a bit slow in hour 1 on the pace, but they've definitely picked it up over the past 2 stints. But I'm sure you'll agree, Oscar, that Harvey is not somebody I'd want in front of me as the Excite Inferno.
This is true in every single sense. His car.
Oh, here comes Falk back.
Oh. What?
Oh, hello.
What?
Falk
Yes, it
back
is.
down the inside.
And Falk's back underneath him.
Yeah, and I was watching on board there, and I did not expect that at all. Holmes coming back down the inside for the second part of the chicane.
Oh, no, Holmes! What was that, you absolute
and Falk
idiot?
come together, and Falk gets turned round, Holmes loses the position, and here comes Genuine Racing popping up saying, I'll have that, and move up into 5th place.
that was just a bit over aggressive. Holmes should have backed out before he made that contact.
.74 seconds is the gap now between the two leading cars. Tormel managing to get his way past that team that I still haven't worked out who they are.
Chris Wilkinson. See, this is what I'm here for, guys.
They're crazy drivers.
They are crazy drivers.
They had a different skin last time, and that new skin has puzzled me. No end. I've been completely puzzled and miffed by their presence here today.
The trick to that, Wilco, is actually if you look into what the teams are called, what the driving units are beforehand, and who the drivers are, you tend to know quite a lot more about what's going on.
Well, you see, I'm usually trying to fix things, so I don't really have the
This is true. This is
opportunity
very
and
true.
chance to do that. My research is usually yelling at people, telling them to stop chatting on, while I try and concentrate on pressing loads of buttons on the BBC computer. Anyway, I'm getting off the point. Tormel are consistently faster than Dominic Engel at the moment, especially in the final sector. A tenth faster there already in the first split. We're watching Dominic Engel at the minute. We'll go and take a look at Yanni Tomlet. And this Dash again, Oscar, we've seen quite a few incidents through here, and it is a very difficult corner, isn't it?
I was doing a bit of practice when my wheel was still working for this race, and the chicane is something that it makes or breaks a lap in every sense of the word. If you're not aggressive enough, you go slowly, and if you're too aggressive, you end up in the wall and out of the race. It is the most challenging corner of the entire circuit, in my opinion.
.2 seconds is the gap now to Tormel for Dominic Engel, and this is now the time where he really has to start pushing, that car to its limits. They've both got the same car, they've got the same equipment. Dominic Engel needs to find the pace that he's losing very, very quickly. You'll say that he doesn't, Oscar, because you're an E-team man, but I say that Dominic Engel has to get that pace back.
I would never say anything of the sort. May the best man win, and the best man will be the person who is first at the line. Until then, nothing shall be said. And yes, I've been told off for stuff like that before, so shush.
.8 seconds now. This is not going to be as tense as we thought we're going to be. We are just 31 minutes away from flying the checkered flag here today to finish this blockbuster event that we've missed half an hour of. That was probably the most exciting half an hour of GTL we've seen for a long while. But yeah, the 2.5 hours that we've seen live on air have also been fairly exciting and fairly gripping as well. Not so much as last race, I'll be honest, but Westhill has always drawn some fairly boring races, so this has been a bit of a treat for us to get a race so exciting, hasn't it, Oscar?
It has been a wonderful treat. It's been lovely to watch and lovely to commentate on all of the various goings on and failings of drivers and teams. It really could become a hobby for me. Definitely better at it than I am at racing.
I second that notion.
You're funny, aren't you? To be fair, you've been doing this longer than me, which says various things. Anyway, back on topic. I think that nope, nothing, ignore me. I'm just getting confused by oh no, I'm right, leave me alone. Zion just had a driver change, and it was between two people that are evidently brothers because they've got the same surname, and it was horrendously confusing.
Yes, those are the worst ones, aren't they?
What, like those times when you just don't know what a team's name is and you have to say repetitively until someone else tells you.
Shut up!
Anyway, because we love deviating from the topic, E-Team have closed right up to Dominic Engel in the Sonic Realms car now. It's getting very close. I'm wondering if Tom Parker's going to pose a problem here. Probably not. Tormler, of course, is blaring at the horn before he's even within 100 yards. Tom Parker straight out the way, very gentlemanly driver, obviously suffering from the brown pants because he's been very cautious.
The gap is now just 72. Shut up, Chris. I'm a plonker. The gap is now only 7/10 of a second. I was going to say 72/10 of a second. Then he'd be miles down the road, but he's not. Dominic Engel, for the first time in his stint, goes a 100th of a second faster than Yanni Tormler in the first split, and now is he starting to push as hard as he possibly can. He has to now. This is his only chance to get away from Tormler. Clipping the tyres there on the chicane does Dominic Engel. Into the final corner, and it's visible that Dominic Engel has been caught tremendously over the past lap by Yanni Tormler. Tormler with a bit of a poorer exit from the final corner there. Dominic Engel using more of the road to swoop around, using it as a slingshot, firing his way down the pit straight. And now the gap is just 3.5 of a second. 27 minutes remaining. And Dominic Engel has got to pull something very, very special out of the bag if he wants to keep Tormler behind him for a massive 26 minutes now as we go into the second hour and the 34th minute of the race. But now Tormler's stuck in a bit of a problem where he's stuck in the draft. Dropping four wheels on the grass there. Risque from Yanni Tormler. I don't believe I just said a rush again in a stream. Oh! Tomala getting very, very twitchy through that final, not that final corner, that chicane. Fast with the 2 chicanes. Somebody is timing out. No, they're not. They survive.
Yes, they are. That is Parofo of Core Racing deciding to depart from the server involuntarily.
Actually, just noticing there that 7 Karat have in fact retired from the race, meaning that we have had our first retirement. Ben Keogh coming in to do his first few laps of the race after timeout from Keiki Parofo as well. Dommy Engel seeming to be able to maintain this gap at the moment, seemingly pushing a bit more than he was before. Either that or Tom was struggling for in this this dirty air of Dominic Engel. Oh, but a twitch there on exit from Dommy Engel. Could this be Tomlin's chance to get in the draft and get a good exit?
No, I don't think so.
Yep, by the way, the retirement for 7 Karat was because Jack Ward was a plonker and timed out a lot. But here is Tomala's run down the inside, he comes, contact is made! Big contact between Tomala and Dominic Engel. Engel going around, having to try and hold himself around the outside. Tomala has the inside for turn 3. Really unnecessary contact from Tomala, but we'll keep going. Engel on the outside for turn 3. Can he hold on to it around the outside and give the inside? No, he cannot. So Tomala takes the lead in argy-bargy aggressive fashion, but he does take the lead, and Sonic Rams Racing drop down to second place with 23 minutes remaining, 22 minutes remaining-ish in this race, and we have a change for the lead.
Well, that was eventful.
Yep, Dommy Engel just trying to cover his inside on coming into turn 2 there, and questionable whether he really should have been there, whether he had to be there. Which, to be honest, he should have just taken his normal line, and Tomala wouldn't have had the right to go down his inside at all. But now, Dommy Engel, will he start pushing the boat out, or will he just, or does he just not have the natural pace?
Tomala back on the horn as he comes up to the Team Zion car, currently being driven by Pazinski. Pazinski sensibly moving out of the way with the crazy fin. Another thing that's definitely worth mentioning is that the last couple of laps, Simon Cattell has pounced. He is starting to make his charge. Something that we have seen Simon Cattell do on various occasions in other leagues is make sudden drives to the front as Dominic comes together with Zion. Oh, this is going to close everything back up again. It's not going well for Dominic Engel at the moment. Tormala just had a very big moment coming over the top of turn 2. Lost a tenth of a second alone in that sector. I'll be interested to see what happens when Simon Cattell comes up on Dominic Engel, because of course Simon Cattell is actually a Sonic Realms Racing member. I'll be interested to see if he'll actually interfere with the race.
So then 18 minutes remaining-ish in this 3 hours of Westhill event in the Grand Touring Amateur League here on MultiBC Stream 3, and we will run through the top 10 positions as they stand right now. An 18 lead after overtaking Simon Cattell, Sonic Realms Racing, just a few moments ago. I don't know, it's hold what is third position, just behind Sonic Realms Racing. Third in the points though are Deadline Racing with 4 going to Genuine Racing. Fifth are the Excite Inferno, 6th the Drunk Team, Lublin are 7th, 8th are Raptor, 9th are Gravity, and 10th are Serving Chrome Pistols. Further down the line we've got Team Identity in 11th. Cargame.nl in a very, very prominent position there in 13th place. They've done a very good job. Second best FXR so far. Tiger Express running down in 18th. They finished 10th in the championship last year. Championship leaders up to today after winning the first race of the season, just driving. They're down in 19th position after countless problems in the first few laps. Core Racing struggling as well, down in 22nd, and Zion also struggling. Independent Racing Mates we saw brought out the only safety car. Seven Karat as well. Seven Karat have retired from the race after Jack Ward's fairly large timing out issues. Him in Spain left them 30 laps down. But here is Simon Cattell on Dominic Engel, and let's see what happens here. Will Simon Cattell give Dominic Engel a helping hand, give him a push down the straight, and then take the position and go on to try and nip past Tomler and win the race for Adelaide Racing? Or will he actually go all out and out and just try and get straight past Dominic? Or will he try and sit in the draft and just try and show Dominic the line, show him where it should be going, and try and get him back up to Jenny Tomler? What do you think, Oscar?
I honestly don't know. Like, I've never myself been in a situation similar to this, so I'm, if anything, just interested to see what will actually happen between these two drivers. I'd like to think that they'd treat each other as completely separate teams and race properly and see what happens from there.
Well, I personally believe that Dominic should be clever and sensible and let Simon through. It's not going to spoil his pointers anyway. He's going to finish the race no matter whether he lets him through or not. There he is. He's not going to defend that inside line. Simon Cattell coming down the inside. And Dominic Engel being fairly sensible there, letting Simon get away. It's not going to hurt his point positions at all. And Simon can now go on to take the fight to Yanni Tolmer and try and win this race for Adenoids Racing. The gap between Yanni Tolmer now and Simon Cattell is 4.35 seconds as they cross the start-finish line. Let's see if he can bring a line in on the first sector. I'm fairly confident that he will have been able to. 4.46 seconds now, so no he hasn't. I'm talking out my backside. Meanwhile, I've realised I've pressed the wrong button and I've been watching the safety car for a long time now. I do apologise for that. Minor mistake.
It's only minor. It was a brilliant radio show though, guys. Don't worry.
In actual fact, I have just been informed that we missed Dom overtake. We missed Simon, sorry, overtaking Dom. So we do apologise for that. Actually, no, we don't apologise for that. I apologise for that because it was completely my fault. And I am a massive plonker who has a very idiotic brain.
And broadcasting this stream as a radio broadcast was Wilco's idea.
Yes. I accidentally did a safety and rescue car.
Yes. At least it's good looking.
Here is Falcon Kilmanskas for what will be 6th place overall, 5th place for the points.
On that lap, Yanni Tormela and Simon Cattell set identical lap times. Cullen have come together. Gehammer, whilst overtaking Cullen, has pushed the AMG driver off the track. Oh! Dear, that's not gone well for Jovanovic.
You have never seen anything like that in a league race, guys. Probably because you've missed it. But the major fact is we had Cullen sitting broadside in the middle of the road there, nothing he could do, he got turned round. And here comes 7 Chrome Pistons and they go flying straight into the side of them, and wow. It's amazing, Jovanovic and 7 Chrome Pistons don't have any more damage. They're able to... oh no, they're not able to fly. Probably because they're in a car, but also because they do have a minor bit of damage, but nothing in comparison to what it should have been. Wow.
Nine minutes remaining in the 3 hours of Westhill round of GTAL, and it is currently Joni Tormela leading for E-Team, but being caught somewhat slowly by Simon Cattell. It'll be interesting to see if any impression will be made before the end of the race, but I don't think it will. It's now up to Tormela to keep it clean and keep it on the grey stuff. Oh, there's been another accident. Smoking team have collided with Empower. I think that Fubar may have been involved as well. Who was that? Who was driving for the car, for the teams that have just been involved in that accident? I've been silly and completely misplaced all of the names that I needed.
Kuliska's been involved.
Kettenen's been involved. No, he hasn't. Newton for Fubar was involved.
Meanwhile, no major battles for position anymore, with just 7 minutes remaining. Simon Cattell is slowly gathering time on Tormela, pulling away from Dominic Engel, but it's not going to be enough really to seal the deal in just 7 minutes.
What you just said about there not being any particularly close battles on track is technically a lie, because Kilamanskas and Folk are both battling for 5th position overall in the points.
Yep, and everybody at home, don't discount how much points really do matter at
oh, and Holmes! Holmes and Heijman!
Ooh, they go side by side into the 4th corner. Holmes on that back bumper. He was bringing out some moves he learned in karting there, holding on that back bumper, trying to get Heijman to make a mistake around the outside at the chicane. This is not going to work very well at all for either of them, but it does. They both don't try and go too side by side through there. Then on the exit, Holmes has the run. Going to go to the left hand side. Heijman covers it. Holmes will get down the inside, but if Heijman gets on the brakes correctly, he'll be able to hold off around the outside, but Holmes goes diving through, gets his car in exactly the right place, and that's a phenomenal move from Joe Holmes there, just backing him up on the apex of the corner there, big slide in the corner, and saved it well, and made sure that Heidemann wasn't going to get past him any way, shape or form, held that ground and held that position. But now there's Leighton on the grass trying to get out of the way. He's made a massive mistake. Heidemann comes down the inside. Holmes will be able to get a better exit, no doubt, because Heidemann goes sliding down the inside. There's another car off on the grass further ahead. Not sure who that is.
I
It's
think that is Tom Parker.
Yes, and he hopefully will get out of the way very, very soon, as here comes Heidemann and Holmes side by side for 4th position in this race. Holmes going around the outside through turn 1, that'll give him the inside through the turn 2. What a battle this has been, and Heidemann has to now back out of it, as Holmes had the inside line, had the corner, and now has the position. A little point has been drawn to me by one Oscar Hardwick here. That our race leader Andy Toll, the 3 team, has very, very thin front tyres, especially the front right tyre that's looking thin. Should survive the race, but let's find out. Simon Cattell would inherit the win. Dominic Engel would inherit the points win if that were to occur. And meanwhile, further back, it's not all over yet between Holmes and Heidemann, rather. Meanwhile, car 18 of Cullen is under investigation, and it will be dealt with after the race, obviously, for that sitting in the middle of the track accident. We don't know what happened particularly with that. Now here's Heidemann in the draft, but he's catching in the wrong place there. Into the second corner, we have just 3 laps, 3 minutes remaining. That'll give probably 2 laps, won't it, Oscar? 2 more laps after this one?
Yep, 2 more laps after this one, sounds about right.
So if Heidemann wants to seal this deal and take 4th place for Genuine Racing, he's going to have to get his finger out.
And Jovanovic has got a front right puncture on his FZR, that's Serbian chrome pistons, and number 9 coming into the pits now to put a new tyre on for the final couple of minutes of this race.
Yep, there they are, misses pit box as well. That's going to cost him more time. Missed it again. There we are. 10-3. Gets it in his pit box. Also, slightly interesting to note that Simon Cattell has caught quite substantially to the back of Tormala. It's not going to be enough unless a mistake is made by Tormala, but he's still there, ready to pounce if a mistake is made. We're just 1.5 minutes rather into left in this race, so we will have 1 lap as we cross the line. It will be the final lap of this race.
The final lap, and there may well be a battle between Genuine Racing and Team Excite Inferno, because they are still very, very close.
Oh, and Joe Holmes makes a mistake, so this is the time for Heidemann to pounce. Good spot on Holmes there. Holmes trying to get a bit defensive. Jovanovic gets a stop-go penalty. Oscar, you might be able to investigate that one, might we? Well, Holmes going around the outside there. Contact made by Heidemann. We are on the final lap though here at Westhill. And it looks like E-Team are going to take the victory here, doesn't it, Oscar?
They may well do. There is still a lap to
Oh, here we
negotiate.
go. Shades of Mika Hakkinen, and down the inside comes Heigeman. And Joe Holmes has nowhere to go, and Heigeman takes the 4th place. And that was terrific racing from the both of them. We're not watching a safety car either. That means that you saw that, and that is a good sign, because it was some great racing.
Here they go.
The time has expired, though. Holmes is going to come around the outside. This is going to leave Heigeman with nowhere to go for turn 2, and it's going to be Holmes winning. Not winning. Holmes is going to take the place. Only a second in it, though, for the lead between Tomala and Cattell. We must now go and watch this battle for the lead. Heigeman has got stuck in the draft of Joe Holmes. He's lost tons of time. He's not going to be able to overtake Joe Holmes. And E-Team come through the final corner. Their tyres stay completely intact. And Yanni Tomala will cross the line. And he will take E-Team's first victory of the 2011 Grand Touring Amateur League Championship.
Simon Cattell brings Adenoids Racing home in second, and Dominic Engel gets third. But who is it going to be out of Joe Holmes? Oh no, it's definitely Joe Holmes.
Oh yeah, Joe Holmes has a massive lead now with obviously missed a mistake from Heigeman or something like that. But yeah, that is definitely Joe Holmes's for the taking as they come through the final corner, and Joe Holmes will get the final podium position spot in the championship, 4th position for the race, with the guest team coming in 2nd place, Simon Cattell bringing them home to victory. Meanwhile, behind, Falk beats Kilmanskas, so Drunk Team will hold off Deadline Racing to finish 6th and 7th. There's a lovely camera view of everybody crossing the line and finishing the race. We've got Raptor coming through in a few seconds as well. Lublin and Raptor, that's for 8th and 9th place. Got Hammer coming through the final corner as well for 10th. Our final finisher will be Tom Parker for Gentles on circuit. He comes through the final corner now and crosses the line now, and there are our final provisional results for the 2011 Westhill International race of the Grand Touring Amateur League. And Yanni Tolner takes the victory from Simon Cattell in the guest car. Dominic Engel and Sonic Rams Racing led for most of the race. However, they came in 3rd place in the race. Joe Holmes in 4th and Heigeman in 5th. Meanwhile, further down we had Falk for Drunk Team taking 5th, and Lublin Deadline for 6th, Lublin for 7th, Raptor for 8th, Gravity for 9th, and Team Identity for 10th. Crazy Drivers Team for 11th, Car Game for 12th, TDRT for 13th, and Great North Racing in the XRR for the 14th position. Smoking Team take 15th, Serving Chrome Pistons in 16th, and Empower in 17th. Tiger Express are in 18th, 19th goes to Conquest, 20th goes to Core Racing, 21st to Just Driving, Automotive Gods to 22nd, Zion Team to 23rd, and Independent Racing Mates to 24th, Fubar to 25th, 26th goes to Gentles on Circuit, and 7 Karat did not finish the race, finishing 44 laps down in 27th place. And Oscar, what a finish of the race, eh?
That was a brilliant finish. The race really did keep us on our toes for every single second. It was a brilliant race, and possibly one of the best races that Westhill has offered up to the LFS community.
Yeah, but a win for your team as well, so you in theory win, don't you?
Well, they're not my team. I'm merely a trial member. Nothing is decided on that front yet. But away from the politics of LFS, which unfortunately do exist, that was a brilliant race, and the podium fairly similar to last round. You've still got a Sonic Realms car there. Sonic Realms definitely doing the best job of being consistent in this season so far. But this is a sign. This is a sign from E-Team saying that if we don't blow our tyres out, we can take the fight to anyone who's at the front. And they've really proved that. They've driven a very, very good race, a consistent race, and they've taken a win.
Yes, they certainly have, and unlucky for Sonic Rounds Racing as well. Dominic Engel just not able to keep up the pace that Isaac Price held up earlier on in the race, and unfortunately had to succumb to E-Team. Also another good drive as well, may I also bring out a mention to, for cargame.nl. They had an absolutely fantastic run for a team of their calibre. 12th place, the rookie team in the FXR. Second highest finishing FXR, finishing ahead of the likes of Tiger Express Motorsports, who are very, very experienced in FXR. It's their third season.
Let alone TDRT, they finished in front of them. TDRT have been racing the FXR forever.
TDRT won races in IGDC this year in the FXR, and I think they did anyway, didn't they?
Possibly, I don't know, I didn't watch it.
I don't know, I can't remember. Anyway, I'm getting off the point. So yes, some very, very clever drives from everybody, but there is your podium before Chris Ford decides he restarts the race, and it's actually disappeared. And there we go, he's restarted the race for me, lovely jubbly.
Never mind.
So the winners of the race there, E-Team with Serbian... I don't know, he's racing the guest team.
There we go.
Second. And Sonic Rounds Racing in third place. Thank you so much for joining us. We will be back within the month for what I think is it
6 hours
Fern Bay?
of Fern Bay.
Yes, Fern Bay something.
Can't remember. I think it's Black. Fern Bay Black or Black reversed.
Maybe Asian. Fern Bay Asian. That'll be on the 18th of December. So GTL comes back on the 18th of December. But that also means that we will be back here, right now, for... Well, not right now, but you know what I mean. For the first round of Masters of Endurance on December the 4th. Actually, that is only in 2 weeks' time. Phenomenal. I didn't realise we were that close. So in just 2 weeks' time, we'll be back here for Masters of Endurance. So we'll see you then, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Good night.
Night.
Mm.